Things men say that are huge red flags. In this video, I'm going to be going into what are the things men say that reveal his true intentions, reveal his true character to you, whether you can trust him or not, whether you should continue to develop your relationship, or if you should use some different strategies to inspire him to devote himself to you, to be a better man, and to get rid of those red flags, to throw them the heck away. And I'm going to be answering some questions as well for the women who pop on live for this surprise live stream also. So let's start diving in. By the way, I'm Brody Boyd if you don't know me already, and for over 20 years combined with my wife Antia, we've been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with a man they want fast. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So the first thing that a man will say that's a major red flag is he will say, let's go 50-50. So if you're on a date with a man and he says, let's go 50-50, that is a sign that he is a man who is not stepping into his masculine power. He's not showing care for your heart. He's not wanting to devote himself to you fully, which the masculine energy is all about devotion. It is all about giving his gifts fully to the woman that he desires, the woman that he wants. And it's also about how he gives his gifts to the world, providing. So if a man is holding back and if he's just wanting to go 50-50, that's a sign that he's also holding back on life, probably also holding back on himself. He's not living full out. He's not living fully. He doesn't want to really be that hero for somebody. He doesn't want to be that act of service. He doesn't want to engage in that act of service, which is also a gift, which is the masculine gift of providing. Just like in sex, what's the man doing in sex? He's providing. He's providing his male gifts in all their different forms to you, and you are receiving as the feminine. And if he's wanting to go 50-50, that would be like having 50-50 sex. It wouldn't be very enjoyable, now would it? It would be, at best, you both rubbing against each other and then calling it a day. It's not really deep, fulfilling sex. It's not deep penetration and deep receptivity. And so, again, this is a sign of how a man is living his life. It's not a sign that he is a provider in any sense, for you at least. And that's a sign of a man that needs to be inspired into his masculine. Hopefully he will be, because every man can be inspired to devote. Every man has a masculine instinct inside, a masculine core. And when you activate it using what we'll teach you with magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication, the man will start to give and he'll start to want to make you happy. And so this can all be shifted ideally with the man that you have. Although there is a percentage of men that is broken, it's about 5 to 15% of men, and he's not capable of giving you the care and devotion that you want because he has trauma, he has childhood wounds, he's a deeply avoidant attachment style or a narcissist or a sociopath. We don't know exactly. It almost doesn't matter what's wrong with him. The fact is he's not able to show care for your heart. We want to look for a man who is showing care for your heart, or that he is capable of that. That's the key signs that we're looking for. Now, if you're listening right now, if you're tuning in, go ahead and start posting your questions in the chat, and I'll start answering some questions in just a moment and helping you with that. And so, actually, this is a relevant question that just popped up from Sally. So Sally said, you guys are great. I was married 40 years and widowed 5 years ago. Sorry to hear that, Sally. But, you know, you had a great run, 40 years with your man. That's awesome. That's not very common. A lot of people struggle with getting to that benchmark, and couples struggle with that. My hubby was a good man, and now I cannot find a reciprocating, fulfilling relationship. Well, that has to do with what we were just talking about. If you're not having a relationship that's reciprocating, and also I would change this language, because it doesn't even need to necessarily, I don't want you to think about it as reciprocal, because that's actually can neutralize the relationship in a sense. What you want to focus on, if you're in your feminine energy, right now, if you're struggling with attracting a man, that's probably the case, is we need to amp up your femininity, your feminine energy, which is all about receptivity, which means you're receiving from him. There doesn't have to be a reciprocal. You're giving in a different way. When you're receiving fully from a man, that is your gift to him. He gets to feel received. He gets to feel valued. He gets to feel appreciated. He gets to feel like he's being of service, that he's investing into you. That's the gift you're giving him. His only gift the gifts that he's giving to you are plentiful. There are many different ways a man can give to you. He may be giving to you through acts of service, through giving you gifts, through moving the relationship forward, through giving you attention. and love and devotion and cherishing you and looking out for you, protecting you, solving problems for you, etc. There's many different ways a man can give to you. And I want you to focus on, how do you just receive more? How do you receive help and advice and gifts and tips and all the different forms of provision, solving problems for you from men? So one thing you can start practicing is with the men you're messaging online perhaps right now, or that a man that you're dating or in a relationship with, even for some of you, how can you inspire him to give to you more? That's going to inspire him into his masculine, and that's going to inspire you more into your feminine, the feminine receptivity, the openness. So in order to do that, one thing that can help is starting to use some small principles of magnetic feminine communication that we teach our clients. One easy one is asking for help. So you ask him for help with different things, with something you're struggling with advice that you're looking for. Now, look at your man and see what are his natural gifts, things that he has that are skills, that are strengths of his. Maybe he has a lot of muscles. Maybe he's brilliant with math. Maybe he's great with cars, with technology, with finance. Whatever his skills are, maybe he's an artist. But you can start to find things in your life, find that empty openness, that void that's available, and allow him to come in and help you with that problem. And ask for help with it and say, hey, I'm really struggling with my taxes this year. Do you have any good recommendations for a great CPA? That's an easy way to ask for help. Or if you know he's great at taxes, ask him for his help specifically. Like, would you mind looking over what I'm doing? Or can I get some of your advice with some things? I would love it. It would feel really great. It would be really helpful for what I'm dealing with right now. So just an easy request. Or to say, could you help me grab that thing from the top of my shelf if he's really tall? Or can you help me with my car? I'm having an issue. I don't know what it is. Curious if you have any advice. So you can ask for advice and help in different ways. Start with small requests, and then you can start to expand it over time. And now you're practicing, you're allowing him to be inspired to give to you, which men want to do. They're looking for opportunities to feel like a hero if they're connected to their masculine core. You can provide him with that opportunity to be received by you and to allow him to give his gifts and appreciate him at the end of it and say, thank you so much. This was amazing. I feel so happy now. I feel relaxed now that this is taken care of. And now he feels amazing. He feels connected to his masculine core. And now you're in the dance. You're in this masculine feminine receptivity. And that's what the reciprocation comes in, with you receiving, him giving. And now that's going to help you to find and attract that kind of relationship, Sally. So I just want to give you those tips because that's going to be a key to move forward and get help with that. But if you want more help, of course, I highly recommend getting some of our materials, some of our more advanced trainings, our free quiz. You can get that by clicking the link below or going to magnetizeyourman.com. I will put a link below, or actually I should put it here since I haven't added it yet to this live stream. Magnetizeyourman.com, and for our free love quiz. That's the best place to start. You'll get some of our advanced principles customized to you, and you could really begin the journey to having and attracting amazing, loving relationship with a quality man, or a man that you're highly interested right now. Even if he's pulling away, even if he's broken up with you already, you can start to attract that. And we've done it so many times with our clients and all the women in our amazing community that we have. So highly recommend that if you haven't checked it out. All right, before we get to the next one, I'm going to mention one other red flag to look for from men, which is if a man says something like, I feel really sad, or I feel depressed, or I feel ... Here's the thing. Feminine energy is about feelings. It's about your emotions. It's about the movement of your emotions, the cyclical nature of your emotions that comes with the hormonal changes throughout the months, throughout the years, and what the movement is in your body. That is the feminine energy. Masculine energy is more up here. It is in your mind, in your head. It is thoughts. It is logic. It is planning. It is strategy. So anytime a man is saying something like, I feel sad, or I feel depressed, or I'm feeling afraid, or I'm feeling anxious, in that moment, he is in his feminine energy. Now, this is a red flag to look out for, because you may be dealing with a man who's not connected to his masculine core, and that could become a very big problem for you. Now, a lot of women, it'll come definitely a problem later on, but even in the immediate time. Now, a lot of women say things like, oh, I want a man who's more emotionally available, or I want a man who's connected to his feelings, or I want a man who's sensitive. Now, just because a man may be more in his masculine, up here in his logic, planning, solving problems, that doesn't necessarily mean he's emotionally unavailable or that he doesn't care about you or that he is not sensitive or kind or caring. These are different things. But what it does mean is that if a man is more connected to his mind and his logic and his thinking, that he is connected to that ability to be a hero, to solve problems, to go run into battle, to overcome his emotions, to overcome his fears and get the job done, bring home the bacon for the family, kill the intruder that's entered the house, get rid of the spider that's crawling on the bed. For example, a man often needs to bypass his feelings in order to accomplish these things that he needs to accomplish, to be of service and to be the superhero for you. So if a man is stuck in his feelings often, and he's constantly just talking about how he feels or that he feels sad or that he feels depressed, is essentially him asking you for help. It's him wanting you to be in the masculine role, to be his mommy or to be his caretaker or to be his boss or his therapist. And that's going to reverse the polarity. Now, eventually, you might feel good in the moment. Oh, I helped him. I was able to make him feel better. I comforted him when he was feeling sad. But then what happens over time is, for one, he becomes dependent on you to solve his emotions, his emotional problems for him. And then for two, he will start to lose attraction for you over time because little boys are not necessarily attracted to their mommies. You know, Freud would have some other things to say about that. But generally, men are not attracted sexually or physically to their mommies. They like their mommies, they love their mommies, they care about their mommies, but they don't feel a sense of deep attraction and chemistry and passion and devotion for their mommies, generally speaking. And so you don't want to be his mommy, and you don't want to step into the masculine and have him be the woman, have him be the feminine, where now you're taking care of him, you're providing for him, you're solving problems for him, you're giving to him. So you want to watch out for this, and you want to be aware when a man is using that language and maybe share your feelings. So when a man's sharing his feelings about being sad or depressed or anxious or fearful, you want to actually share your feelings about that, which is probably then causing you to feel some anxiety or you to feel sad or you to feel some fear. And now you should actually go into your emotions more than he is. That's how you reverse the polarity. And that's how polarity works, is if a man is more feminine than you are, if you want to inspire him to his masculine, you just have to be more feminine than he is. You have to do whatever it takes to become more feminine. We'll teach you this. We teach you the principles of magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication in our courses, in our communities. And that's going to inspire him into his masculine. And now he's actually wanting to take care of you. He's now becoming stronger within himself, wanting to be a provider, wanting to be a hero, because every man has a masculine core within him, and every woman has a feminine core within her. And the more you tap into that and your instincts, the more you're going to bring that out. So a man will be inspired into his masculine core by you. You inspire him into it. He becomes a better man. He wants to serve. And now he starts to actually become more attracted to you. He feels better about himself. He becomes more attracted to you. And you start to actually feel better about yourself. You become more attracted to him. And now you have healthy polarity. And that's where you get that dance, like a salsa dance, like a West Coast swing dance, a ballroom dance. It's this give and take, this exchange of energies where he's leading, he's holding the frame, he's strong, he's making decisions, he's looking out for you, and you get to relax. You're listening to him, you're following his direction, you're appreciating him, you're letting him showing him with your body and with your words when he's doing a good job and also when he's not doing a good job. If he's stepping on your toes, if he's not leading well, if he's not matching the tempo of the music or not having any tempo, meaning he's not keeping the pace of the relationship, he's not moving the relationship forward, it's just kind of stagnating. You have to speak up about that, and you have to use magnetic feminine communication, which we will teach you how to have, I wouldn't say difficult conversations, but important conversations with a man about your relationship and about just your whole life, how you're feeling right now, what's going on, so that he can solve it, he can help you, and he can progress the relationship, and in the whole process feel good about himself and feel like he is valuable, that he's of service, that he is providing, which will feel good at his masculine core. Because again, every man has a masculine core. So you can activate that within him. And it's a process, and there's steps to it. And typically what we teach our women is how to do a 90-day challenge. And what this means is we give you a 90 days structure on using what we'll teach you with magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication with a specific man that you have in mind, maybe a man you're seriously dating right now or you're interested in or that you're in a relationship with or married to. And you say, hey, my relationship's not working right now. He's not showing me devotion and love and care that I want. He's not making me a priority. How do I change that? How do I influence him over a period of time? Because really, you can't change him. You can't control him. And the more you try to change and control him, the more he will pull away and the more he will resent you and rebel against that. However, you can inspire him to want to help you and to want to change himself through your feminine energy and through using these principles that we'll teach you. And so you have a 90-day period where you get to use these things. It's like you're learning a new language, learning a new dance, and then you inspire him into his healthy masculine, and now he starts to devote himself to you. Because sometimes it takes a little bit of time. It's a process to get to that place where a man is fully in his masculine and he's cherishing you and treating you like a queen. It takes some time for him to get there, and you're also learning the skills in the meantime. You may have years or months or years of programming within you that has taught you to be a masculine woman in some ways. So you might be criticizing him in subtle ways. You might be blaming him in subtle ways and resenting him. You might be mothering him in different ways. You might be trying to control him, trying to lead him. You may be giving to him. You may be being his therapist, etc. You may be emasculating him in different ways. So all these things will cause issues in a relationship over time because it destroys the polarity, and he will start to feel disrespected. He will start to feel devalued as a man, and then he will start to pull away and he will start to lose interest in the relationship and look for that elsewhere where he can be with a woman who respects him and who admires him and who he can give to and who inspires him to give to her and who he can feel her heart and feel her feminine energy. So we'll help you how to do that. It's a process, and over that 90 period of time, the results will be crazy. You will have a completely different relationship, but it may not look like that the first day or the first week or the first even month. But things will start to plant. You're planting seeds within yourself and within him that will bloom into a beautiful relationship. It just takes some time often, but you'll get there. And you just have to commit to it and detach from the outcome. Commit to the process and detach from the outcome, which is another big principle we're going to teach you. All right, let's answer some more questions here. So Bridget said, if a man has hurt you physically and wants to come back, is it a good idea to give him a second chance? So a man hurting a woman physically is one of the ultimate signs of him not taking care of your heart. It's literally physically damaging your body, which is your feminine. And that's the worst thing, in a lot of ways, the worst thing a man can do to a woman. Now, a woman, she could do a lot of damage to a man by disrespecting him or not valuing him, not seeing his value as a man, emasculating him in deep ways. But that's one of the deeper things a man can do to really hurt a woman, because it's just a sign of lack of care. And so I would be very careful about getting back together with a guy who has done that to you. Now, there are paths to redemption for a man. Now, the way I look at it is, think of it like you are the judge, and literally he may end up in a courtroom, and men should end up in courtrooms when they're physically abusing a woman. And he has to basically make his case for why, not necessarily why he's guilty. We know he's guilty. We know what he did, but why he's never going to do that again, why he's changed, why he's a better man. And that's not going to happen overnight typically. And it's not just going to happen from him making a very compelling case. Like, you also have to look at his actions. But if a man is really coming to you with repentance and making amends and wanting to do all the things to make up for what he did and apologize and prove to you that he would never do something like that ever again, maybe there was some alcohol involved or drugs, and then if it's over a period of time, then you can use your intuition and you can decide if you want to take a man back, and it's up to you. But I would be very cautious around that. And for the most part, I would say no. I would say no, never take a man back who has done something like that to you, unless there's a massive repentance and he's gone through basically like what a criminal would have to go through. He has to do a sentence, and whatever that sentence is may involve time. It may involve community service or serving you in a certain way. making up for it with his actions. He has to not just show that he's a better man and he's changed with his words. He has to prove it to you, and that can take a lot of time. And so I would give it something like the 90 days where he has to prove himself to you, and I wouldn't even be physically in his presence really until he's done that, unless you have other people around and you're in a safe situation. But be very careful, Bridgie, and I'm sorry that happened, and hopefully that will never happen again, and he will either remove himself out of your existence, or he will dramatically change himself and prove to you that he's changed himself to have a chance, even a slight chance that you even talk to him again. So that's what I'll say with that. There's a lot more we can go into, but that's enough for now, I think. Nana said, I'm dating a guy for 4 months now. He committed to me. I talked his daughter and his brother on FaceTime. I don't have kids. Is that a big deal for him? I mean, is it a big deal? I guess that's your question. Is it a big deal for a guy to commit to you? It depends on what that commitment actually entails. Is he's making himself exclusive to you? He's not dating anyone else? Is he showing that with his actions? Is he actually doing that? Is he going to marry you? Has he bought an engagement ring? 4 months is a little soon, but it depends on the circumstance. We have friends that have gotten engaged after 6 weeks, and they're married now with a baby. So, it can happen fast, but it's also something to be aware of, that it does take time to really develop that kind of deep love for somebody and that deep commitment. So it could just be him not wanting to lose you, and he's kind of making promises, but are they really backed up by his energetic commitment? Because ultimately what you're looking for is a man claiming you. Is he saying, yes, you are my woman, and I'm your man. You are my lady, I'm your lady, and you are my man. You should watch that video after this. I think it's Shania Twain. That was actually a song at our wedding, me and my wife. I think that was our wedding song, actually. So it was something by Shania Twain. I have to double check. But so basically, has he claimed you? You're my lady, I'm your man. And he's not seeing anybody else. He is energetically caring. He's caring for your heart. That's the main thing you want to look for with any man. Is he showing care for your heart, or is he not showing care for your heart? That's really the only signals you need to look for if a man loves you or not, or if he is committed to you or not. And the way you know if a man is taking care of your heart is, what does he do when you share your heart with him? Because a man can't really take care of your heart if he can't feel your heart. And that's why sharing your heart and being vulnerable is so important with feminine energy. And one of the big things we teach our women in our communities, in our courses, how do you share your heart properly with a man in a way that he receives it and he feels it and he wants more of it and he takes care of it. He treasures it. Where your heart is, your treasure is, and vice versa. So is a man showing that he is treasuring your heart? That is a sign that he is caring for you and he's really committed. So when you share your heart, you share problems that you're having, or you share feelings that you're having, negative feelings potentially. Is he wanting to help, or is he not wanting to help? Is he coming closer, or is he pulling away? Is he wanting to provide, or is he wanting you to provide for him? That's a sign. If a man is a healthy man, if he's capable of showing care for your heart, if he loves you, or if he doesn't. And so you have to ask for help. You have to share your feelings. You have to expose your vulnerability in order to know how he responds to it and if he's actually showing care or not. And then you know if he's really committed to you or not. So if he's doing that, then it's a big deal for him. If he's not doing that, then it's probably not a big deal for him. So look for, is he showing care for your heart ultimately? I'll say one more red flag before we get to the next question here, and then we're going to wrap up pretty soon. If a man says that if a man says he's just having fun right now. So if a man talks about your relationship in terms of he's just having fun and he's not looking for anything serious, I mean, he may even say that, but even if he just says like, look, let's not worry about it, let's not talk about it, we're just having fun right now, that's not a sign that a man cares for your heart, and not a sign that he is a good, it's a red flag basically. So what you want when a man is thinking about your relationship and talking about the both of you, if it comes up, is that he wants to help. And even if he senses that you are sad about something or anxious about something, is he wanting to give you reassurance? And is he showing that he's taking this relationship seriously, or is he brushing it off and making it sound like it's just a game to him or just something fun and casual? Then that's not a good sign. And if he does, we can help you to inspire him to actually take the relationship seriously and actually value your heart and not want to lose you. Ideally, you want a man to have a little bit of fear that he will lose you. And that's why it's so powerful for you to be having the willingness to walk away. That's one of the keys to being a high value woman. You know, you hear this term go around a lot, high value woman. One of the biggest keys to being a high value woman is, are you willing to walk away or not? Because if you're in an abusive situation that we talked about earlier, or a man is not taking care of your heart, he's not treating you well, he's not making a priority, and yet you stick around and he continually does that, and probably you haven't used exactly what we've taught you if you haven't done our advanced courses with magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication, and taken our free quiz, for example, then he's hasn't had the chance to really be inspired to change. But if you've done that and he's still not changing, then if you continue to stay in that relationship, that's a sign that you're not valuing yourself, and that he's not going to value you either. So there's a saying in sales, which is, and in relationships, the person with the most power is the person who is most willing to walk away. It doesn't mean that you do walk away. Of course, you can and you should if he's not treating your heart with care, like I talked about earlier. But it at least means that you're willing to walk away. That if things got bad enough, or if things did not change over the next 90 days, that you would say, okay, I'm out. You have to be willing to do that, to get to that point, unless he changes it. But sometimes you actually, the sad thing is, once you actually do leave or do walk away, set a boundary with yourself to get out of a bad situation, that's typically when the man will finally change. And hopefully that's not going to happen for you, because you're connected to us here. You're going to use what we're going to teach you. You're going to get the advanced trainings, and you're going to learn how to actually make a man care about you and devote himself to you without it having to get to that point where you actually have to walk away. But you should always be at least willing to walk away so that you don't get into those situations. And a man can be inspired into his healthy masculine to love you and care for you and feel deep feelings of love. And then you'll have a great, amazing relationship. So I'll answer just a couple other questions here before we wrap it up for today. So Pinky said, I've been single for 9 years and unable to attract a healthy masculine man. Yeah, Pinky. So anytime you're having chronic issues with dating, relationships, it's typically going back to something that happened in your childhood and in your early romantic experiences, often with your attachment style or your love blueprint, as we call it. So those things need to be addressed, and we need to work on those things. How do you heal, and how do you rewire yourself to actually be a safe container for love? What if relationships were simple, fun, and easy? What if dating was simple, fun, and easy? That attracting high quality, masculine, healthy men was like breathing. It was the easiest thing for you. It was simple. It was fun. It was enjoyable. That's what we want to get you to actually believing that, and then actually experiencing that it can be easy, it can be simple, and it can be fun relationships when you master these things. And when you've learned the dance, we're teaching you a new dance, we're teaching you a new language. When you can speak that language with men, we'll give you specific scripts of what to say and what to do with a man. Everything can change, because now you're interacting with him from your feminine rather than masculine or neutral energy. And he's going to feel more attraction to you. He's going to feel more passion and devotion and love, and your entire experience can shift. So you need to get support, you need to get coaching, but when we go deeper into those things, you can start to have a new experience. And of course, there's strategy that we'll give you as well. Like, for example, we have a course called Magnetic Feminine Online Dating, how to use these principles that we teach with magnetic feminine communication and magnetic feminine polarity in an online dating container. So when you're messaging guys, when you're creating your profile, what do you write in your profile? What pictures do you choose? So you can attract a healthy masculine man, because attracting a masculine man and a healthy masculine man, a quality man, is much different than attracting a feminine man or a broken man or a like a player or a abusive man. So we want to attract a healthy masculine man, and that means polishing up how you're showing up, taking the best from you. You have all this stuff inside of you. Everything that we teach, you already have inside of you. It's your feminine core. We're just helping to activate that feminine core, bring it out so that you can magnetize. You can be like this shining light. You can be like the flower that the honeybees are coming to get that sweet, sweet nectar that is you. And or you are like the sun with the planets that start to orbit around the sun because of the warmth, because of the radiance. That is what we're helping you with. So that is all we have time for today. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question because this one's pretty interesting. So Shane said, is it normal? Here we go. Is it normal for a man to be watching sexy girls on YouTube? My husband said only for his satisfaction and all the men are the same, so he locked his YouTube profile so I can't open it. You know, unfortunately, the way the algorithms work with social media, if a man ever clicks on a sexy video with a woman on YouTube doing like sexy yoga poses or I don't know, model shots or dancing, whatever they have on there, then the algorithm starts to say, oh, he liked that video, he clicked on it, we should give him more. And then all of a sudden, before he knows it, his whole feed is like sexy women. And the same happens with Instagram or TikTok or etc. So it's tough. And so that's why social media can be dangerous, because it tends to reward whatever you've clicked on. And men are biologically programmed to be attracted to physically beautiful women. It's just, everybody knows that. And it's just the way they've been designed. And that doesn't mean it's an excuse for him to do that, especially if it's hurting your feelings or making you feel a certain way about it. That's not good. So what I would recommend in these situations is to have a conversation with him. You've already talked with him about it, but to have another conversation with him that will help you with using magnetic feminine communication, where you share how it makes you feel, your vulnerabilities, starting with the feelings such as I feel sad, or I feel anxious, or I feel uncertain. And of course, asking permission before you go into that, which again, this is a whole thing that will teach you how to actually have these conversations. You ask him for permission. Can I share something with you? Sure. Notice I'm feeling some sadness. What are you feeling sadness about? And then you can go into it and talk about the facts. The facts are, he's watching sexy videos on YouTube, and maybe you're telling yourself a story about that. I'm telling myself a story that this may mean that you're not attracted to me, or that you find other women more desirable, or that you're losing interest in our relationship, or that I'm not enough for you, and I don't know what to do. Or could I have some help with that? Or can I ask what you think about that? And you're starting to get him to actually want to empathize with you, to empathize with your heart. Again, we're talked about the openness, the vulnerability, so that he comes closer, he wants to help rather than pulling away, and then he finds a solution. It's his job from the masculine to find a solution to the problem. All you have to do, the feminine, is sharing problems. The masculine is solving problems. So all you have to do is keep that open heart, share it in the right way. He wants to help. He wants to come closer and fix it from his healthy masculine, to be inspired into it, because you can't change him. You can't make him all of a sudden turn into a man that's not looking at attractive women online or in person, but you can inspire him to want to change his behavior on his own and say, oh, this is hurting my woman. I feel her heart. I actually empathize with her now, and I understand why. And what can I do to make her feel some reassurance? Because ultimately, you probably don't care that much if he's watching sexy videos or not, to be honest. And the reason why is because what you actually want, that's like on the surface. What you actually want is, you probably want him to be desiring you more. You want to feel more cherished by him. You want to feel his love and devotion and his care and his protection, and that he's all in and that he's committed to you. That's what you really want, probably. And so we want to get to the core, because maybe he still watches sexy videos. I don't know. He might have an addiction. He has to work on that. Maybe it takes a while. He should get some help with that, probably. But even if he is still looking at sexy videos, how does he then still show you the care and devotion, that he's all in, that he cherishes you, that he wants to make you the happiest woman in the world, and while he's working on his problems, his demons, his addictions, etc., or just finding better strategies? Because again, all of this social media is conspiring to make him want to look at those things, or to put it in front of him when he's on his phone, and it's addictive, and they're all designed to be like casino slot machines, and you never know what's going to pop up. And then he gets those dopamine hits when it's an attractive body, or it's a a song that he likes, or a music or a video. Like, there's all different types of videos that we can become addicted to, and to look at this for yourself as well. And so what I'm saying with that is he has a lot of forces working to implement that from the evil side. There's evil forces that are out there, evil forces that have been put in place to try to destroy relationships and try to cause us to be addicted and to be just programmed zombies. But what you're learning here is helping to wake you up and helping to have better principles to navigate this in your relationship and actually create healthy relationship. That's our mission, to create healthy relationships, to fight the evil, to bring goodness back into the world, or as in the Bible says, bring heaven onto earth. Bring it here. How can we make heaven come here? And heaven can start with your relationship. Have a heavenly relationship. That's bliss. That's amazing. That's you feeling cherished every day. And so what can we do to fight that? And while he's dealing with those demons, you can still respect him and appreciate him for the things he is doing for you that you do like, and have him want to do more of those things. And then all of a sudden he just doesn't even realize he doesn't want to watch those videos anymore, because he feels so fulfilled by you, by your relationship together. That's the dream that we're looking for. So if you'd like to get that, again, highly recommend, take the free quiz that we have below to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with a man you want fast. Or you can go to our website, magnetizeyourman.com, and you can start to customize this for yourself, get the specific scripts, get coaching support, and get our advanced trainings on magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication, how to actually have this happen for you and have a simple, fun, and easy romantic life and a relationship that lights you up and that you feel adored and safe and secure every single day. So much love. Hope this was helpful today. Hope you got some good nuggets. And leave your comments or questions below as well. Maybe able to still get to those later. And I'll talk to you at another time.